Today I'm finally getting a driver fitting. I've been playing golf for a little over 4 years, and like many recreational golfers, I've still been playing a driver that I picked up on eBay. This is something I've been meaning to do for a long time, having played with a number of decent players who have commented on the fact that they don't think the driver I play with is helping my game. Currently in the bag, I've got a Taylormade Sim 2 with a Fujikura Pro Flex S shaft.
No, I haven't got a clue either.
So I've enlisted the help of Ryan Rastall. He's the pro at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds, to see if getting fit for a driver will actually improve my game.
But yeah, the sort of first thing we do really with fitting is try and get, like I say, it's almost like a bit of an interview stage where I'm trying to find out as much information about your golf game as I possibly can to help sort of fit the driver properly, because we, you know, like I say, we get a very small snapshot of what you do. I can look at technique, I can look at what the ball's doing on the TrackMan here, and we'll explain some of those numbers as we go along. But, you know, you do get people that come in and they hit it right all the time, whereas you find out on the golf course they hit it left all the time. You know what I mean? So that you can get sort of anomalies like that. So yeah, we try and find what your golf game's like and how it works. So yeah, just hit a few, mate. Just get loosened up, and we'll have a bit of a chat as we do it.
So to start, Ryan had me warm up with a lofted iron, in this case my 8 iron, just to loosen up. He wanted to get a background of my game, asking the handicap I play off, what shot shapes I usually see on the course, and my typical ball flights with irons and driver. Whilst the data gathered from the TrackMan can be a little overwhelming, the two numbers Ryan wanted me to understand were the club path and the club face angle.
That's probably the first decent shot of it.
Yeah, a little bit more height on it as well, isn't there? Yeah, which is good. I think, you know, of the shots we've hit, I mean, I know this isn't relevant to driver, but if we're looking at what we've got here so far, right? So if you look on the big projector screen, we can see every single shot that we've hit so far, and generally they're not too bad. They're fairly, you know, we've leaked a couple right and pulled one left, but they're generally pretty good, mate, really, and it gives us kind of averages along the bottom of all these numbers, right? Which some of these numbers will mean absolutely nothing to you, and I wouldn't expect some of them to. But the ones that we're kind of more bothered about when it comes to why the ball's going where it's going are these two. So we've got club path and face angle, right? We can see on average your club path is pretty neutral, so 0.5 degrees slightly negative, which means you're going to hit a fairly straight ball flight more often than not, I would imagine. And the face kind of matches it quite nicely. So you've got a very neutral technique, which is good, right? So, but what that does mean is that if you get the face slightly open, that's going to turn into a bit of a leaky one that goes right. If you get it ever so slightly closed, it's going to turn over to the left a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Whereas if you were to see someone with a club path that was, say it was positive 3 degrees, right? So positive on TrackMan for a right-handed golfer means we're hitting it from the inside. So we'd expect you to hit a little draw depending on where we get the club face there. Anything negative or severely negative, we'd expect more of a fade, right? Now that may change as we get into hitting driver and stuff, but that gives you a bit of a look at face and path, right?
To my surprise though, he was also having a look at my technique to see if there were any clues in my swing that would contribute to the issues I described with my driver. After watching me hit a number of 8 irons, he's already spotted an issue with my ball position.
So yeah, when we're looking at your technique, you do hit down on it a bit, which is, you know, good. We want you to take a nice divot, but potentially that's lowering what we call the dynamic loft maybe a little bit too much, so it doesn't quite get the ball in the air as much as possible. Now I would say from looking at you, the ball position looks a bit back, right, in the stance, so it might just be that you just
edging it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think moving it up central, maybe even a bit more, we might start seeing that ball get a bit higher. So let's do that to start with. Just hit a couple for me where we get the ball position a bit further up. So yeah, for me that looks still slightly back of middle, isn't it? Yeah, I still think so there for me I think looks better. So let's just hit a couple of shots from there. Just see what it does, yeah?
Okay.
Let's see what effect it has on ball flight.
See, as soon as I set up to that feels like it's on my shoulder.
Okay, right, well, it's not. It's good. But you've just got, and we all get in habits, don't we, when we're playing golf, and particularly if we're not really having many lessons or we're not particularly thinking about technique a lot, we'll get into habits and just keep doing them, won't we?
100%, no, yeah.
Yeah, nice shot. So that's good. So that's a bit higher, isn't it? Yeah.
How far have we gone? 67.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That one was better.
Yeah, really good. So we've got one there, look, nearly 75 feet-ish.
Right.
Yeah, and we can start to see then, look, it's carried 154 and only gone 162. Yeah, so those numbers now start to get closer together again. So all of a sudden we can start hitting some greens and stop it on the green. And like I say, that's not a massive swing change. It's moving the ball 2 inches further forward in stance, isn't it? Because it changes a lot. It changes. So the other thing that I noticed when the shots you hit at the start were your weight stays on your right side quite a bit because of ball position, right? So it's so far back that you can't get ahead of it. Yeah, so you're probably losing some speed there as well.
Yeah. Once Ryan was happy, I understood some of the characteristics of my swing, and more importantly, what those characteristics do to my ball flight, we moved on to driver.
So yeah, let's hit 2 or 3 with yours, just have a bit of a look at what's going on.
Yeah.
And again, we'll have a bit of a chat about kind of what you're seeing on the golf course too.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that is
your normal sort of shot, yeah? Good,
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much what I described to you at the start. I do see a few of them.
Okay. So yeah, a little lower, and again, that sort of cutty kind of shape, yeah, that we're hitting there.
And then the bad one is that it'll start straight, if not a little bit right, and then I'm losing it right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're the bad ones.
Yeah, so that one's just started a little that way, yeah, and just moving a touch.
There we go, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, if we look at an average, so if we look at all 3 of them shots, so we've hit one that's a bit lower and a bit further left, one pretty straight one, and one that's just curved off and almost like, in inverted commas, your bad shot when you're playing golf, right? Yeah, so we can see certain tendencies though that when we're looking at this. So if we look at those path and face numbers again, right? So we can look at path, all of a sudden, we've now got a path that's more significantly out to in, isn't it? Yeah. So we're hitting across it a bit more to the left.
Yeah.
Which is gonna mean that it's generally gonna fade more, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of bits we can look at. Obviously, fitting a driver, we would look at certain things to help decrease the amount of spin or the amount that it's starting to the right hand side, okay? Because they're the bad shots you're generally gonna hit.
Yeah.
But there's obviously a technique element in there as well that we can kind of give you a few kind of tips about and maybe help with that too. But we can see that the face is generally slightly left, which is great for hitting a fade. So if we've got, say, 7 degrees left with your path and only 3 with the face, it's generally going to start where the face is telling it to, and the path then gives it the shape, okay? Right. So it's just going to move off to the right-hand side a little bit more, okay? Yeah. Now, at the speed you swing it, sort of 95, 96 miles an hour, we'd be putting you pretty much in stiff flex in most shafts, really, that we're going to look at. Obviously, some work at different speeds and stuff. Yep. But the thing that kind of jumps out to me would be the spin rate is a little higher than we'd like it to be, okay? So
that's the number. I knew that was going to be high without ever doing this, because having played with quite a few decent players, their feedback is always big. That driver spins a lot for you, mate.
Yeah, and I'd imagine there's a couple of reasons why. One, it's probably got a little bit too much loft on it, and 2, we hit across it a lot, yeah? So the more you hit across, the more it's generally going to spin up on you a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And your bad strikes are probably going to be more towards the heel, which again is going to make it spin more, yeah? So that's kind of what I would expect, really, looking at this. So what we would probably look at with a driver, we'd probably look at something that's maybe going to spin a little bit less, maybe launch slightly differently, but yeah, I mean, if we're looking technique again, if we just take that last swing that we've made. So I would say setup wise, it looks okay. Your feet are aiming further right than your shoulders are though, aren't they? Yeah, so that's maybe something that, time. I don't know whether you're doing that consciously or not. But I would say you get into a pretty good position at the top of the swing here. But then as it comes in, you see how your arms kind of throw the club forwards, don't they? So your hands get a bit further away from you than we'd like them to be on the way down. So that means that the club is going to work left across you quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you see how then your body weight almost stops, doesn't it? And the arms come across you, and you can see how this left elbow pops up and the shaft comes out quite low around your body, yeah?
Yeah, always been a chicken winger.
Yeah, and again, that particularly with driver is going to cause the bad shot that you've got, really.
Yeah. This is where I was really impressed with Brian, because he understood that I'm not a player that has come for a driver that just fits me right now. I'm trying to improve as a golfer, and so he's mindful of fitting me for a club that should help me in the short term, but should also still be a good club for me if I start to make the improvements in the future.
So whilst we're here to fit you a new driver, we kind of have to look at some of these technical aspects because they can influence what we fit you for massively. You know, if we change techniques slightly, the driver you walk out the door with is not the same one that I would fit you for right now. So, and that's kind of some, because you spend, like I say, we go back to how much drivers cost. You're spending that much money on a driver, you want to know that it's right, don't you? And you know, if you do improve your golf, it's got to improve with you as well, hasn't it?
I mean, even anecdotally, how many times do you hear people buying a new £500 driver expecting to hit it different? And
I mean, it's not a magic wand, is it?
No,
I mean,
exactly.
it's not going to change it. So let's have a bit of a look at that to start with, right? So we'll just get you set up and just hit a few shots from there. So yeah, I think ball position looks great. Yeah, it's nice and forward. That right foot just needs to come more here, so it just needs to get a bit more. So yeah, for you, it probably feels like you're aiming a bit further left.
Yeah,
okay.
Similar sort of feeling to that ball position earlier, where it feels like it's on the left shoulder, but isn't. This feels over there, but isn't.
Yeah. So nice and smooth and turn through.
And that was heel.
It was. It started a bit further left. Yeah, good swing.
That felt better.
But if we just look at setup, right, you can see the one on the left-hand side straight away is much squarer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can see less of your left leg for starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything's just squared up that little bit better. So straight away, if we're looking at the TrackMan numbers at the bottom of the screen, you can see your path's gone from -6 degrees on the right-hand side there to only -3.5, right?
Wow.
So we've kind of neutralised that a little bit straight away just by getting you aiming in the right direction, yeah?
Yeah.
So what can happen a lot when people aim right with their feet is that they will take the club back kind of along the line of where their feet are, and then the club will get thrown over the top massively on the way down, and that can obviously make the path worse, okay?
Yeah.
Hopefully by getting you in a better position here, we swing up and down the same line a little bit more and hopefully get you in a better position. So let's just look at where we get to at the top of the swing. So we can see we've still got a ton of hip turn going on, but if we look at where the club gets to, it's actually so much more neutral here at the top, and then as we turn through, you see how already that club's thrown over the top and almost got disconnected and the hands are away from you here. See how they stay a bit lower and a bit more into your chest there, and when we see you at impact, look how much that arm's straightening already and getting away from you, isn't it? We just keep that kind of bend in that right elbow better, and certainly when we get to strike here, you can see that the arms stay in front of you just that bit longer, don't they? So it's just, we're talking fractions here. You're swinging at 95, 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to look drastically different,
Not massively, but we're going to see that the club just comes through a little bit better, and hopefully, because of that, if we look at the end of the swing, can you see how slightly we can see more of the sole of this right shoe because your hips get through it better, don't they? And we see less of it on the right-hand side there. So it's marginal, but it's helping us to hit driver better, isn't it? It's helping us turn more effectively.
Yeah, it's also only 2 swings later as well.
Well, exactly. We're talking about 2 minutes apart on these videos, So we're not going to do it straight away, but you know, it's obviously a consequence of this that the spin drops quite considerably, doesn't it? And we get a slightly better hit on the golf ball, and it's a bit more efficient, I suppose, isn't it? So we've got path and face closer together. We've also turned through it better. The ball speed's better. Obviously, it was a better shot all round. The strike was better and all that kind of stuff. But it's just giving you more chance to do that, isn't it, from that position? But I think when it comes to actually fitting a driver, something that's going to help to control your spin a bit more is good. There are obviously lots of different models. I mean, the 4 brands that we fit here have got models that would fit quite nicely into that. So we'll have a bit of a look at a few different ones and see which ones are going to work slightly better.
Armed with this new information about my swing, we now started to test out some different drivers to see if they could have a positive impact on my driving.
It's the first one I'm going to give you to try. So it's Qi35.
Lovely.
Which is obviously Taylormade drivers. This is a 9-degree head, stiff shaft, but it's quite a lightweight shaft as well. So I'm just going to see what that does to both club speed but also delivery, right? So we want to try and get that club face squaring up a bit more on the way through.
Yep.
So there's ways of doing that. Obviously, we've all heard about draw bias drivers and things like that, but shafts can actually help do that as well. So if you go slightly lighter and slightly more flexible in shaft, it can help release the club head a little bit more as well.
Right.
So for those guys who struggle with a bit of a slice, sometimes a slightly softer or lighter shaft can help to help you square that up. Obviously, the draw bias that you can put in drivers does that as well, but this one is fairly neutrally kind of weighted, so it's not really going to do that too much. But yeah, give it a bit of a hit and see what you think.
That felt healy. That's a familiar shot shape.
Yep, indeed. Does that feel much different to yours when you're striking it, or not that you notice, or?
Not a whole lot, I would say. No.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe similar.
Yeah, quite similar, isn't it? Yeah, they're not really seeing any massive difference in performance. So I'm going to give you a different driver to hit. So the one I've just given you is Wilson Dynapower, Dynapower Max, which has been a really popular driver that we've sold this year, to be honest. It's very, very forgiving.
Right.
Looks nice.
It does look nice.
And it's pretty quick when it comes off the face as well, generally. So, yeah, give it a bit of a hit, mate, and see what you think. Good hit.
Yeah, it felt decent.
Yeah, I mean, straight away, if we're looking at, so average ball speed with yours, 137, 139, this one's the quickest straight away.
Wow.
Yeah, just literally first shot, it's come off faster off the face. It's also a bit spinny, that one, but distance-wise, pretty good too. So, yeah, just hit a few more with that, just have a bit of a look.
So this has definitely been a nice one to hit.
Okay, good. The ball speed is just so much quicker as well. There's really no reason why that would be, but it's just coming off faster, yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting a bit more distance out of it. Very similar shot shapes as well, aren't they? Yeah. So you see how they've kind of bunched up a bit more, whereas with the Taylormade that we tried, a little bit all over the place, and with yours the same, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas this has tightened it right up, hasn't it? I mean, that's pretty impressive, to be honest. So, I mean, what I've done with that driver is it's slightly draw biased in the way it's weighted. So you'll see in the bottom of the driver there that it's got a weight in the back of it, and you can, depending on where you put that weight, changes whether it's neutral or draw bias, right? Yeah. So you just flip it around the other way. It moves a bit more weight into the heel and obviously encourages the head to kind of square up a little bit more. So we're seeing less of a fade happening now, aren't we?
Right.
Yes,
I see. So that weight then is obviously trying to fight its way to close the face, as you say.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's trying to get the ball starting slightly further left for you, isn't it?
Makes sense, yeah.
Which is good. So, yeah, I mean, that's certainly pretty impressive in terms of where it's going. The other thing, I've just added a bit more loft to it as well, because we were just launching it a little bit low.
Yeah.
So we're now getting a bit more height on it, which is helping us to get it going a little bit further as well, which is good. So, Wilson, big tick in the box, right? Yeah. So we'll just have a bit of a hit with a few other drivers too, but we'll try and set them all up in a fairly similar way, really. Right, we're going to try G440 now in Ping. So this is the SFT model, which is a draw bias one. So SFT straight flight technology. Okay. So it's helping to, again, do exactly what that Wilson driver was doing, where it's just slightly more weighted to square the face up for you. Right. It's the same loft and everything. So yeah, hopefully it should perform quite well.
Let's give it a go.
Good hit.
Yeah, felt a good first one.
That was very good, yes.
Maybe the straightest one we've hit.
Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah. 10 of them around, you'd be happy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, would. Big time.
So yeah, that's obviously started straighter. Yeah. You know, some of the technology is helping you to do that. The height's good at 74 feet, so it's up there, nice and high. And the spin, 3,500 RPM, is kind of what what we would see generally with your kind of delivery. And when we look at TrackMan here, it has what's called an optimizer feature, right? So it looks at 5 certain parameters with driver that we'd like to get within, you see those little blue shaded areas that you see on the screen there. We'd like to get those in there if we can, but you know, we're not going to get them all in there. But for certain techniques and certain ways that people swing the club, you know, we'd be looking for certain spin characteristics. So we look, this is your driver, okay? So the average, we can see it launches a bit low.
Yeah.
The height's low at 55 feet as an average.
Wow.
And the spin, okay, 3,300 RPM.
Right.
Ball speed a little bit down on where we'd like it to be, and spin loft, which is kind of the difference between your attack angle and the actual dynamic loft on the face, which is something that we look at in terms of getting the ball to launch at the right height. It's not quite right. When we look at the Qi35, when we tried it, not quite there either. Wilson, we can start to see that those numbers are starting to get a little bit more in the areas that we're looking at. For some reason, it's not measured the attack angle on those, so it's not giving us a perfect data. But when we look at this one, I mean, we've hit one shot, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But we can start to see, whenever it lights up blue like this is telling us that we're pretty close to it being as good as you can hit it, really.
So the optimal numbers,
Yeah, so you can see that the spin loft is higher. And when we sort of look at that compared to yours as an average, so we've gone from 55 feet as an average to that 174. So it's quite significantly higher, but the spin remains the same. And similar to that conversation we were having with irons, we want it to go a certain height in order to carry. And we're seeing that we're getting about 20 yards of run on it when it lands, which is good. And that's certainly what, from your sort of club head speed, around, you know, mid to high 90s, that's kind of what I'd expect it to be, and that's pretty good, really.
Cool.
Right, let's hit a couple more to make sure this wasn't a fluke. Right.
Didn't feel as good.
It's still okay. It's still come off at decent speed, and it's straight down the middle, so it'll do.
Oh yeah. Right, going right?
No.
Wow. I'd be very surprised after that field to look up and see that ball fly. That would be reassuring.
Yeah, I mean, we've caught it just slightly toe end, haven't we?
Wow.
Which has sort of straightened the flight up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we look at the 3 shots we've just hit with that, I mean, that's pretry impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've literally hit 3 fairways. One wasn't a great strike, but the other 2 are okay, aren't they?
Big time.
You know, if we're looking in terms of the actual average distance, we can see that we've gone from like 226, 220. You can see with the Taylormade one, we're just heeling it all the time there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Now we're sort of 240, which is kind of more like where I'd expect you to be.
Yeah. Oh, that one felt very bad.
That's your bad one. Yep.
Very, very bad.
You've just started nudging the ball position back a little bit, right? So let's just get it a bit more forward in your stance, okay?
Closer towards that heel.
Yeah, I think so. It just looks like you're setting up a little bit right when you're with the face. So, yeah.
Right, doesn't it?
No, bring it back this way.
Yeah.
There we go.
You've almost got to shift over here to check where you are.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, that looks better to me. And just bring your right foot forward. That's it, good. That's going to help us start it where we want to. Good, nice. Yeah, that started more where we want it, hasn't it? Just left of target with that little fade. Yeah, that's good. And like I say, it's just setup that's doing that, isn't it? Yeah, we've just hit 2 pushes in a row just because the ball position was wrong and you were aiming a bit right with your feet, okay? Good. Started straighter. It might just curve off slightly, that one. That's good.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit toey again, hasn't it? So it's kind of straightened the flight up a little bit for you, which is good. But yeah, what we're seeing with this driver now is obviously much more consistency, isn't it? Yeah, I've just got rid of those 2 when you didn't set up properly.
Yeah.
But of the rest, I mean, that is just brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. So we're starting it straighter. The spin rates come right down. The ball speed's still up there where we want it to be, over that 140 miles an hour mark.
Yeah.
And more importantly, we've hit every single fairway, which is obviously great, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll just put another driver together for you to try, but to be honest, that's going to take a bit of beating, Luke, I think, to be fair. So
something I've always wondered, just because I'm not obviously not the tallest person, when it comes to shaft length with irons, can't remember what they did. They either did standard or just below, maybe an inch short, half an inch shorter or something. Would you typically do the same thing with a driver?
Potentially, because drivers are made very, very long, right? So I've actually just put an elastic band around the top of this one for you to try, because I want you to feel like it's shorter.
I feel
just
like
to see what it's like.
These are awkwardly long clubs.
Yeah,
for me,
and they are. They're awkward. You know, the drivers we buy off the shelf now are either 45.5, 46 inches long.
Yeah.
The average on tour is 44.5, right?
Is it? Wow.
So the reason they're using shorter ones is because they want to hit fairways. They don't care about how far it goes, because they all bomb it, right?
Yeah.
So
speed for days.
Whereas the difference it would make to your average golfer in terms of distance is minimal, but accuracy is quite big, right? So particularly if you strike it either toe end or heel end on the golf club, it can actually bring that strike in the centre of the face a hell of a lot easier. Right. So I would say I probably sell more drivers shorter than standard than standard.
Yeah.
So I've got a Callaway Elyte driver here for you.
Thank you.
So I'll have a bit of a hit with that. Again, set up slightly draw bias, same loft as what we've used in the other drivers that we've hit. So it's a 10.5 degree head.
Okay, so this is the same as the one I use.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, nice and straight again. Sounded good.
Yeah.
Again, just a little bit low, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quick off the face, very quick. It's just very low.
There's low and there's low.
Yeah. Better hit.
Yeah.
I know it's curved off a little bit. It was a much better strike.
It did feel a better strike.
Yep. Good. That started just down the left side and should fade a touch. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Distance is decent, ball speed's good, but it's not quite as good as we were getting with the ping, is it?
I was going to say, if you were asking me to pick on feel, and I didn't know numbers, the ping felt better.
Yeah. I mean, it's marginal, but it's carrying further, the ping, and going slightly further. The numbers are a bit more controllable, and, you know, if we're looking at the dispersion there, I mean, that's as good as you're ever going to get with a driver, I think, isn't it? So what I've just done with this ping one, because we're just going to hit it again, is I've put that elastic band on the top of the shaft, right? So it's an inch down.
Yeah.
I just want you to hit some shots. Yeah, feel as if that's the top of the shaft.
Yeah.
And just hit me some shots from there, and just see what that does to the strike, okay?
Felt a tad toey.
A little bit. It's just spun up on you a bit, but yeah, I mean, it was decent. It's just spun, yeah, because we've caught it out the toe. Good.
Yeah,
really
that felt
good hit.
decent, that one.
After hitting a number of drivers, we were starting to see that the Ping G440 was probably going to be the best of the bunch. I was, however, still a little disappointed to see that the shots that I was hitting with all the drivers we used were still spinning pretty high.
Like I say, I think we're always going to get it a bit spinny just because of technique, right? So that's something we can work on over time, but I mean, we take that every day of the week, wouldn't we? 240 down the middle of the fairway. Yes, it's spun a bit, but the ball speed's good, and yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
So is the main contributor of that spin then where I'm hitting it on the face?
Yes, so it's coming out the bottom of the face, so it's spinning. The other thing is that you hit down on the golf ball a bit, yeah? So the fact that you're...
That's quite a lot down as well, isn't it?
A bit more than you'd like, yeah. But we would like that, ideally, if we want to drop spin, that's got to be more positive or more neutral, if you like, yeah? Right. So moving ball position forward is a good way of getting it more on the up as well, yeah? So the further back you move it, the more downwards we're going to tend to be getting at strike. So hopefully shifting it forwards and you feeling like you're behind it a little bit more might just help lower the spin and potentially get it launching a little bit better for us. But yeah, it just pops up a little bit on you, doesn't it? Because of the strike, because we're hitting it low in the face, but also it's just a little bit down in terms of attack angle. So if you imagine, we're sort of descending on the golf ball and hitting it out the bottom, it's going to tend to just run up the face and spin a lot, isn't it, when we hit it? Yeah. So it's
from that representation, I'm surprised he gets in the air.
Well, we have hit a few low ones, haven't we? Yeah. So
In an attempt to try and reduce my spin on the driver shots, Ryan told me to try and feel as though I moved my weight onto my right side more, as this would help me hit up on the ball and should reduce my spin.
Alright, let's see if we can
Yeah, so feel like you're a bit more behind it.
edge it up a bit.
And yeah, and just really launch it. Yeah, so we're trying to hit more up through the golf ball, aren't we? Well, we got under it. Somewhere between the two, I think,
Not
is where we
quite
need
that
to be.
high.
Yeah, so it was a bit toe in, a bit high, but it's a good experiment.
That's what we call a 60-degree driver.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'd guess low again.
Yep. I mean, the other thing you can do is tee it higher. Yeah. So you could just try and get the
tee just there.
the peg up a bit more. But again, look, attack angle. We've hit 6 degrees down on that one again. Yeah.
Wow. That's probably more than I hit down on.
I was going to say, that's pretty much what you were doing with your 8-iron at the start, isn't it? Yeah. You know, you don't have to hit up through a driver, but it's certainly, if we're looking at the things we'd like to change,
Yeah.
spin and strike, it's definitely something that's going to help both, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it was Brooks Koepka I saw was saying that he hits down, but I think it's about a degree or a degree and a half.
And again, at that
6.
sort of speed, it's not, you know,
not a problem.
It's not going to kill the distance he's hitting it. That's the thing, is it? So, you know, and people like Dustin Johnson, great drivers of the ball, hit down on it as well. But then if you were to look at Rory, so that video we had of him before, I'm pretty sure we would see that it's significantly on the up. Yeah, 3 degrees positive. Look that he's hitting there.
Yep.
And you see the difference that makes to spin as it drops it really low.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's launching it super high. It gets to 118 feet as an apex, yeah. So
it's nearly double mine, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but obviously the speed is helping that too. Yeah. So he's swinging it 118 miles an hour, which is helping him as well. Yeah. So yeah, those, like I say, it's only relevant when you're looking at a certain person's swing, right? Whereas you're looking at driver numbers and people, I need to be under 2,500 RPM. Well, you don't really.
Yeah.
It depends on your golf swing. If you were down at that now and swinging it the way you are, it just wouldn't get in the air ever. Yeah. So you need some spin to help you and help you keep it in play as well. Yeah. So whilst we'd love the spin to be under 2,500 RPM, that really just depends on attack angle and it depends on how you deliver the golf club, because if you're hitting down on the ball, trying to get a spin as low as that is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
But we want a driver that's going to keep it in play for you and hopefully gain a few yards as well, which this one seems to be doing. I actually think you've not struck it as well since you've gripped down it a bit, which is weird.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah.
Do you think go back to where it was?
Potentially, yeah. Let's take that off and see what it does. Because to be honest, I think where we had it before was pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it was definitely playable there.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's good. So just feel a little bit more. Yeah, so a bit more like the weight is here somewhere. Yeah, so we kind of feel a bit more right side. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's a bit more weight in here.
Yeah, let's try and hit me a shot from there. Good. I reckon that'll be on the way up. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just down, but it's better.
Yeah. That definitely felt different.
Yeah.
We
can see that if we look at where the strikes move to, I know it's still toey, but it's more centre of the face, isn't it, in terms of the equator line that we've got on there, yeah? So it's just shifted it up slightly.
Yeah.
So we've gone from 6 down to only 2 down, so it's just moving that strike up a bit more. I mean, yes, I know we've left the face open and we've spun it a bit, but yeah, if we're looking at long term, trying to improve how we hit driver, that's the way we're going to do it. Yeah, it's by getting that strike more towards the centre of the face and trying to get this less negative, if that makes sense. Yeah. But to do that, you almost feel like you're back here somewhere, don't you? In order to
that did feel alien. But then that makes me question how comfortable I've become just standing on this left leg all the time. Then, because like,
I mean, you don't. It doesn't look too like left dominant when you set up, but I just think as an experiment, it was a good thing to try and feel like you're behind it a bit more. You can see, look as well, I know that it wasn't the best strike you've ever hit, but look at the height, it's 100 foot. Yeah, so
that'll be the highest I've hit.
By a mile, yeah.
That's a playable shot anyway.
Better.
That felt a load better.
Yep. Shot. I think this now, there's obviously bits of technique we need to work on, but I think in terms of how you hit this driver, it is massively better than what you have right now, okay? So we can see just by looking at the spin numbers, right? So I'll tell you what, let's just look at this versus yours, okay? Yeah, I mean, if we're just looking purely at the figures here, we can see that with your driver, the ball speed, let's just start with that, right? So we've gained quite a decent amount there, haven't we? So in terms of, it's about 4 miles an hour, pretty much bang on, isn't it? In terms of speed off the face. Now, that equates, with driver, every mile an hour we gain in ball speed is about 2 yards in carry generally. So we should be 8 yards, if not a little bit more longer. And certainly when we're looking at the carry, that's what we're seeing. Well, more than that, aren't we? Yeah. And because the spin is now lower, so we're 3-1 versus 3-3, we're going to get more run when it hits the ground as well. So then the total distance stretches out a little bit more too. We can see that in terms of the speed, we're generating a little bit more as well. It's marginal, mile an hour, maybe a little bit more, but it's not massive. And we can just see that the ball flight is becoming a bit more neutral, isn't it? I think if we can work on the sort of delivery, the attack angle, so not being as down on it as we are there, I think we'd see this number drop more, the spin number, and I think you'd see these numbers increase quite considerably as well. Right. So it's a bit of a balance of technique and obviously getting the right driver, but you know, this seems to work quite nicely. The great thing about that driver is that it's adjustable, right? So if you start being able to launch it higher and get behind it more and spin it less, we might change the loft a little bit and how it's set, but there's abundance of different settings on that can help you to do that too. So that's 10.5 set in the standard position. We can knock that down a degree and a half, or up a degree and a half, right? So you're generally going to kind of have a driver that's fairly playable, even if your technique changes a little bit, which is kind of what we want. We kind of want to future-proof it a little bit if we can. I mean, we tried it slightly shorter. Didn't really do anything, really, did it? In fact, we kind of probably got a bit worse with the strike when we did that. So I would say the standard length is pretty good. That's the standard stiff flex that comes in that driver as well. So Ping sort of manufactures some of their own shafts, and that one's called an Alta CB shaft, which they make themselves, and it's really good. So they generally make their own stuff that kind of complements their drivers, really. And this one is light-ish, I would say. It's kind of on the lighter end of some, but still feels really great, performs really nicely as well. And we've obviously changed where the weighting is in the head there, in that SFT head. So this is the draw bias head, and I've also, you can see the weight's just moved a little bit in the back of it, because that's movable weight in the back of the head as well. So everything there is trying to help us square the face up a little bit more. And in that 10.5 degree loft, it's obviously going to help you to launch it slightly more as well, because if anything, if we're looking at launch angle down at 8 degrees there as an average, that's more down to the fact that we're hitting the bottom of the face, not the loft, right? So if you imagine on a driver face, we have what's called roll and bulge on the face, right? And if we catch it bottom, it's actually less loft than what is in the middle. So if you hit it in the middle of the face, it's 10.5 degrees, but if you hit it at the bottom, it could be 7.
6. Right.
So at the top it could be 12, know. So that obviously varies how the shot comes out as well. So in effect, where you're striking at the minute, you've got a 7.5 degree driver there, but if we move the strike up slightly higher, we'll start to see the launch get better, and hopefully the spin come down because of the the better attack angle that we get as well. So there's a lot that goes into fitting, and particularly drivers, because of all these elements we've just spoken about. Trying to get the right launch and consistency for somebody.
Having found the driver that seems to be the best fit for me, Ryan wanted to test a few setup configurations to make sure it was as optimal for me as it could be. I was surprised to see that shortening the shaft didn't improve my strike, as I've always found the driver quite a cumbersome club to use. The last thing we tested was adding a little bit more loft to the face to see if I could launch the ball a bit better.
I think I'm pretty much set on where we are here, really. I think it's pretty good, but as a bit of an experiment, I just want to try it.
I mean, the takeaway obviously is drivers can do so much, but if the technique's hindering it, the technique's going to hinder it.
Of course it is, I mean, it's not like we were going back to before. It's not a magic wand, is it?
No.
It's a golf club that we try and get to suit your characteristics, and certainly we'd look at where your misses are, more than where your good ones go, because we all hit good ones that go straight, but if we have a tendency that goes right or left, we can do things with the driver that's going to help that as well. So just try that for me, see what it does. It's the first one we've hit left, Luke. What's going on?
We've broken it.
That's good. I quite like the fact that we've hit one there, really. Again, just a bit bottomy, wasn't it, on the face? I think when you start striking these more towards the centre, you're going to gain about 20 yards, because the ball speed is going to be so much faster.
It sounds a cop-out excuse, but I've tried to film a number of videos in simulator rooms. Mainly over at Normanton.
Okay.
And the room is probably, it doesn't feel quite as wide as this, but subconsciously I feel like I can feel this wall.
No, you can, absolutely, yeah. And, it does feel very claustrophobic at times, doesn't it? Yeah.
I've actually had to throw away one of the videos I did at Normanton because I just couldn't hit the ball for some reason.
It is very different. I mean, I've been hitting balls in simulators for 15 years, so I don't even think about it, but it is odd, I would say. And when you hit it and it just hits the screen and falls down, like people are like, really? Okay.
It's the peripherals, isn't it? That does it,
massively, yeah. Again, just started a bit right on you, hasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly doesn't seem to have improved anything by adding loft, does it? In fact, the spin's gone up quite drastically, that it's sort of hindering ball flight now. So let's just nudge it back down. And again, we are getting slightly better here, aren't we? Yeah, in terms of the attack angle.
The club path is a lot more.
Yeah, significantly more out to in, isn't it?
Than I thought it was.
Yeah, we've had a couple over 10.
Have we?
Yeah. Got to try and keep those hands low when they come back through, right? So if I keep my club there, your hands have got to slot under there on the way back in, yeah?
So like
whereas
that.
you would generally, your hands would come towards me, and that's where we get the path.
Out there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you hit across it, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, okay.
So we've got to try and feel like that club comes in under and shallow. That's what's going to help you hit upwards as well, yeah?
Right, it felt lower.
Look at that. And, yeah, you've just left the face open a bit, but certainly the attack angle's better, yeah? So if we look at that, that's probably as good as it's been. So we've less than 2 degrees down.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've not struck it particularly fantastic, but yeah, in terms of that, that's where we're going to start to get the sort of path more neutral, and hopefully the attack angle a little bit more positive as well. So they're the kind of key things there that we're trying to improve.
So that'd be moving towards a more playable path and a more playable attack angle, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And these are things that you can, when you practice. Let me just borrow a driver. I would do quite a few where you maybe only do half a swing and only take the club back about waist high, but really feel like the club's coming in, because essentially we want to feel like it comes in lower and then starts to rise through the strike, don't we? Yeah. So we're trying to feel like it's sort of shallow, and we kind of sweep it a little bit more, and hopefully get it. So you only have to do little swings like that, but you soon get the kind of feeling that your hands are able to kind of manipulate the golf club a little bit more. Yeah. But more importantly, we're able to feel that the club is kind of coming in almost low to high, if that makes sense, whereas what most players do is it's like high to low kind of position, so we just try and feel like we sort of sweep it up and away there, so we're trying to get the ball launching better, aren't we? So little half swings like that are really, really good for that sort of thing. So you see that when I've done that, I don't know, I've only chipped it, but see, if you hit up, it knocks the spin right down, doesn't it? So it just flattens that off, and obviously on a shot that's going 250 yards, that's going to make a big difference to how far it goes. So yeah, just little tiny swings like that where you're keeping it nice and shallow, low to the ground, and feel like you hit up on it a bit more will have a massive impact on your overall sort of driver distance and technique. That's there. I've only swung it, that's gone 177 yards. And just chipped it. So it's just because those numbers are a bit more neutral, aren't they?
So The feel is more hands lower.
Yeah, so it feels like the hands are closer to your body and like they're just a bit more cramped on the way down, and then we kind of release on the way through. So you're talking about your chicken wing. This is the way we get rid of it, isn't it? Yeah, by keeping it in there, and then your hands sort of extend away from you more, don't they? Good, really nice. So yeah, tack angle there, only -2. And spins come down to 2.7, yeah, so better. So it's basically similar than the shot I've just hit, isn't it? Yeah, so very, very similar, and path is more neutral, isn't it?
Yeah. Even that's the closest I've got to the centre of face probably all day.
Exactly, it's good. It's decent, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, doing drills like this, it seems silly with a driver when you're still on the range hitting drivers that only go 170, but it's just kind of drilling in the positions you need to be into, isn't it? During
I mean,
the
you're not
swing.
going to feel that at full speed, are you? Whereas you can feel that way better.
That's it. Yeah, you cannot feel it at full speed, can you? You don't really know whether you made a good swing or a bad swing, do you? Then,
no.
But you can certainly feel it at that slower speed, and a lot of that is just building a good relationship between what your arms are doing, what your body's doing, and that's what most people don't have a very good relationship of. So, and this is an analogy I use all the time with coaching, is if I put that club in your hand and said throw it as far as you can, you wouldn't do it the way you swing in a golf club at the minute where it's coming over, would you? It would be more underneath and you'd be launching it there, and that's the feeling we're trying to get, isn't it? We want as much energy going that way, not that way, don't we? Yeah. And that's essentially what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Right, so that wraps it up. Thank you very much, Ryan, for your time and efforts. Where can people find you?
Here, Howley Hall Golf Club. I also do a lot of equipment stuff for golfshake.com as well, so you can have a look at their YouTube channel and website and stuff. So we've got loads of stuff on there, particularly when it comes to new equipment. When it comes out, I'll be doing loads of stuff, and it's kind of getting into that season now. So you'll start to see some new 2026 stuff coming any day. But yeah, really good this, and you hit it lovely. So
Ping, will it be in the bag then? Probably should be, shouldn't it?
I think so.
Lovely. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll link Ryan's stuff down below. Let me know what you think. Should I make the switch to the Ping? Let me know. And I'll see you next time.